2017.
Yeah.
And our discussion for today is a very scary topic.
Wait, you had to think of what year it was, not what day it was. You had to think of what year it was.
Yeah, because it's almost, the way time flies by, man. It's like I was almost about to say 2015, and I realized that we're in 2017. We're going to be in 2018 pretty soon. So I had to think there about what I was going to say. But today's scary subject is online dating. And the other top subject I was going to talk about too was private investigators, because I had I was about 27 years old when I was in my prime. There was a girl I was talking to. We were corresponding, and the funny thing is now
there was no online dating then.
No, there was online dating, but we were corresponding, and the funny thing is, I've had this happen with me with girls. Online via email.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, like I've noticed, and it's true, it happens. I mean, it's happened to me. Is that I think sometimes if you text a girl a lot every day, or you email a lot, like my relationship with this lady named Simone, we were emailing each other like multiple hours every day. And it almost became like a relationship in a way, because we did it over years.
It is a relationship.
It became, but we never had sex and all that stuff.
Still a relationship.
Right.
Just wasn't romantic.
Right. And, but she told me she loved me and this and that. Yeah. And I remember.
Did she ask you for money?
No. Okay. But this, I'm getting to this point here. But what happened was, as we were talking for years, we were just corresponding, and she was a business owner. She was a smart girl.
Yeah.
And later on, it was the funniest thing. I one time was getting up at like 7 a.m, and I went to McDonald's to get breakfast. Yeah. So I'm going to my car. I had an old Honda, which I had I kept the car for like 10 years. And I was getting in my car, and I had a baseball hat on. I had on pajama pants. I had my Red Sox hat and a T-shirt. And it was like 7 a.m. And I was getting out of my car, going to get into my house to go and eat my food.
North?
No, here in locally. And as soon as I get out of the car and walking, I turn to my head and I see a guy in a freaking van, and he takes a picture of me like paparazzi. And I later on found out, doing a little research, that this girl hired a private investigator and said that I guess that before our relationship was going to, I kept a lot of things in the dark with my women. I never tell my girls. Usually for me, if a girl knows where I work, if a girl has me on social media, or if a girl knows too much information about me, then usually our relationship goes south. So we ended up. Oh, that's Ty probably. And so usually the relationship goes south. So luckily, we ended up, she ended up finding out the information about me. She found out the truth. She found out I wasn't a rich guy. She found out I didn't have a ton of money, and our relationship ended up breaking off. And I kind of felt a little bit of invasion of privacy with the girl following me, hiring somebody to follow me and find out stuff about me like that, because if I did that to a girl, she would call me a fucking stalker and a creep if I had a guy, go and follow her around and stuff like that. So, I guess, so that was one of my bad relationships. But, I've dated some girls online. I remember one girl I dated, her name was Heather. And I thought we had a really good night together. And we were drinking, and, we made out a lot. And then after the date, she ended up being like a total psycho, getting mad at me. She threatened to call the police on me. No, it wasn't that bad. But she threatened, to call the cops on me. And we went from her and I making out and like heavy. And both are on hold, yeah. And both on hold. So, and then that ended up happening. So, it's bad. So that our discussion is, I think it's Ty. Ty's on the phone now, right? Ty's on the phone. Ty, how's it going?
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, great. So, I think you have the great alternative to online dating, which is
working the strip club.
Going to the strip club. That's the alternative to online dating, I think, these days, because it's bad, man. I think what it is, a lot of times these girls have these really high, heavy expectations. And I think when it's online, when the relationship starts online, they end up having like these bigger expectations. And then nobody, the guys never end up leading up to what they expect. And then things just go south. I don't know. Have you had any experience online dating yourself or anything like that as well?
I did the online dating. I guess it was back, when it was when MySpace was still around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, great. She was my kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, slender little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Weekend hot. Didn't know how to cook, but you can't win them all.
Yeah.
But everything was good for maybe 3 weeks, and she flipped the switch. Everything was crazy. Then her mom was telling me that she was bipolar and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh God, what the hell?
That sounds like this girl was dating
It
Heather.
was bad, and then she got locked up. She needed help.
Wow.
Like, I'm not with you anymore, and then her mom got in my head. I'm like, fuck.
Was she a stripper?
Oh, she wasn't a stripper.
Wow.
My rule is no. I try to stay away from the strippers.
When you work at the strip club, don't you find it kind of hard though to when you're around all those cute young girls not to want to date one of them? I mean, it would be hard for me if I was in a situation like that.
Honestly, look, my job in the strip club, I'm the entertainer liaison, as the owner likes to say it.
Yeah.
I basically tell the girls how to do their jobs. Orientate them, the do's, the don'ts of the strip club, the gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah, I met you years ago. You were taking pictures. You had a strip club etiquette. You had that. Would you still have that going on, or your strip club etiquette magazine?
The guy I was working with, JP. I guess he got into some legal trouble and all this. So he kind of shied away from that, and then he was like, "Do it all." And I'm like, okay. So I started doing it, but it was just like a 2-man operation. And then website guy, and it was fuck.
Yeah, a lot of competition too for the clubs.
We do have somebody who's in the on the Facebook Live post. Guy Lloyd, he said he thought that online dating could be dangerous. I just said no. There are no psycho women online.
Oh no. There's plenty of psycho women online. Really? You think there's a psycho? There's a lot of bipolar ones, at least I know. I knew the one girl I dated named Heather. I mean, we had a great date, and then after that, she got crazy. You don't have to be
politically correct on your show, right?
No.
All right. So isn't it women and psycho like synonymous?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I think it's a tough world for single people these days, and I think that's why more and more people are single because
I met one girl. We never dated or nothing, but it was a small world. She's actually a bartender now at Scores. Her name's Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
But her drama, this and that, but she was always a cool chick, and we met. I think we went to dinner at Red Lobster one time, but throughout the years, she's always been cool, and I've known her since she was, 14,
Yeah.
I was younger then.
Yeah, okay.
Who are we talking to, Harvey?
No, I'm not going to Harvey.
No, Harvey.
No.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of that too, a friend of mine was on. I was trying to reach him later. He was earlier. He was on Louis C.K. What do you think about that? The situation with Louis C.K. I mean, now they're just busting guys one after the other for sexual harassment and just tearing their career down. Kevin Spacey, they're editing him out of a movie
Kevin
because
Spacey
of that.
Came out.
Yeah.
The thing about Kevin Spacey. And it may have been on your show last week.
Right.
Maybe it was what's her name? Audrey's show, Chicks Live. I said, I think it was Audrey's. I said, I'm waiting. It's all these women coming out against these men. I'm waiting for the guy to come out. The gay predator. The heterosexual one.
Well, what's crazy is that Louis C.K., they were saying that he didn't like rape the girls, but he just pulled out his penis and masturbated in front of them. You know, it's kind of crazy, you know?
But in his defense, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He did ask.
Yeah. and, you know, but it's like they're
you know what, tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night when we go to the theater, to the cinema.
I'm not going to do a Pee Wee Herman.
I was going to say, let's see. We'll get you to pull it out and see how people react.
I'm not going to do a Pee Wee Herman. No. My career's too new to lose it. I don't want to lose it just yet. I'm still trying to find my way in the business. I'm not ready to throw it down the drain just yet. It's crazy though. But the funny thing is with all these guys getting busted, I'm waiting to. This movie Beach Bum that's filming in Miami now. I'm waiting to get a call for it, and I'm kind of hoping with all these guys, maybe with all these guys getting busted in showbiz, that maybe there's down to like one actor, and it ends up being me, and they call me and give me a role in this fucking movie because I feel like an actor on ice. I've been waiting months and months to work in a big project, and this is the only big project in town right now because of the incentives is Beach Bum, and I really want to work on it, man. It's you know, it's kind of, it sucks because there's things you have no control over. It's like you want a job, but you have no fucking control over what happens. You know,
like rub shoulders or butter up to the right person.
I guess I tried to.
That could be sexual harassment.
Yeah, maybe.
Rub shoulder, you never know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know, but it was men, so I didn't feel like rubbing shoulders. But yeah, it's crazy.
Look, it happened to Kevin Spacey, so
yeah.
You never know what happens. You know, the thing with Louis C.K., like I said, he didn't assault them. You know, I don't think he groped either.
Yes, I mean they could just say he was a perv or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of bad. I mean, and the sad thing is that they say he's going to lose his whole career, so he's pretty much going to be done with that.
Yeah, his manager's already dropped him
he's
too.
Done. You know, so
you know what? I'm not condoning any of that.
Yeah. You know,
truth behind it.
Yeah,
the ones that are true.
Yeah,
it's terrible. But I started listening to a woman came out about Dustin Hoffman back in like 1980.
Yeah,
and it's like, first of all,
1980.
All right, it was a different time. One, they were in a green room, or they were, between breaks, they were hanging out and telling jokes, and he didn't grope her, but he patted her on the ass, something like that. Yeah. It was 1980. Yeah. This stuff was going on. There was no harassment part of it. I do think it's getting out of hand, and I think, again, I'm not condoning it, but you're taking a situation from the 70s or the 80s where the social scene was a lot different than it is today. Yeah. But what I think is going to get bad is I feel that it's going to get even worse for us guys, because it's like they can consider I heard legally by law, like there's a lady that works at this place that I work on the weekends, and I like her. Yeah. And and a friend of mine was telling me this, because I constantly tell friends of mine if there's a woman I like or something like that, I tell them about it. And my friends of mine were like, you could get in trouble. Sexual harassment, not even just touching the girl, but even how you look at her. So there's like a lot of gray areas, they were saying, with sexual harassment. So even looking, if she considers that you looked at her the wrong way, that could be considered. That's what a friend of mine was telling me. I don't know if it's true, but a friend of mine was telling me that even if you looked at a woman in an inappropriate way, that could be considered sexual harassment. Were, like, your eyes lit up and you were drooling. I mean, so it's like, so I don't know. And is it, so I feel like is it going to get worse and worse for men? We're going to end up, now guys are going to get in trouble for how they look at women too and stuff. I mean, it's a natural instinct, Many years ago, I had a boss, this lady, gorgeous. Her name was Candy. She wasn't a stripper. She was a manager of one of these furniture places. And gorgeous, but every time she would look in my direction, I would look down. Every single time. And she goes, am I too ugly for you, or am I too pretty for you? I'm like, you hear it all the time. Just leave me alone, go away. Just like that. I just treat him like that because I don't want to deal with it. But the Dustin Hoffman thing, I already see where that can be an issue, where he's slapping the girl's ass. It's going to happen with guys too. The NBA, the NFL,
They're always slapping people's asses.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right. They're teammates. One of them's going to turn around like, hey, I didn't really appreciate that. I feel like you're objectifying me.
It'd be ridiculous, but it'd be ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, I guess you never know. I mean, they're teammates.
Do you guys agree that this whole thing that's going on right now is ridiculous?
I think so, because
I think it's gotten out of hand.
It's getting too much, and then now everybody's going down.
The stuff that Weinstein did, or what Lewis did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really carrying things too far.
Right.
But I think joking around and making some innuendos,
right.
it's just carrying it too far.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it gets a little, it's out of hand, but we guys have a natural instinct, if you find a woman who's attractive, to kind of not hide it. We're not, a lot of guys aren't able to just hide how they feel about a woman. If they like her, they show it. So, and women go around and present themselves nowadays. I mean, to show off everything they got. So it's like, then women need to, women have to dress more conservative or do things differently. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, I feel kind of
back to the Victorian era.
I mean,
we're screwed if that happens.
What, you think so?
Maybe we should live our lives like they do in like Saudi Arabia. Or
no, that'd be kind of. I like seeing women skinned.
Go back to the Victorian era, how things used to be. If we start dressing like them, half an hour to get the goddamn course.
Be a lot of clothes, be crazy.
Well, we can put it out there. If your friend John is listening, we apologize for disconnecting him.
John, if you're there listening, we'll apologize. Call back.
791-6375.
Yeah. Is Ty on still?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah.
So Ty sounds like somebody who likes going to strip clubs.
He's in the business. He's a promoter. He promotes. He's a club liaison. He knows the girls pretty well and stuff. Do the girls, you think, ever date customers in the strip club? Sometimes some people told me yes, that happens, but I remember, what was it, Adam Carolla on the show Loveline said he dated a girl at the strip club, but he said it cost him about $20,000 that he had to spend that kind of money and be there every single day.
Hang on, Ty.
To go to date one of the girls. Hold 1 second, Ty.
No. Yeah. Hang on, Ty.
Okay.
John.
Hello. All right, hang on.
John.
Okay, we got Ty and John on the line.
Oh, they're both on at the same time?
They're both on.
Oh wow, okay, cool. We got like a group chat. So, John, what were you saying about online dating?
Just be careful and watch yourself when you set up the first date. Make sure that it's in a neutral area. Don't throw it into a next level where don't bring it to a restaurant where you're going to dine and look at the person and perhaps find that you don't even want to sit with them for 5 minutes. You're better off to meet them in a comfortable neutral ground, like a Starbucks or something like that. And then you work, and the chemistry's there.
Didn't you have a woman that you were living with that you met online? Didn't you have a woman you were engaged to, right? That you met online? Didn't you meet one off of Plenty of Fish or OkCupid? Didn't you say that? It was a girl you were engaged to?
I'm a rare breed. I came from Canada, and I met this gal on Plenty of Fish here, and after my dad's passing here in Florida, and I was, thinking how, I was 45 years of age at the time, and feeling that, man, how many years do I got to go? And then I met this gal, and she wanted to marry me. And the first date, we went to the Key Lime House in Lantana there, and she soon enough started announcing to the servers that she loves me and that we were going to get married. And I went along with it, thinking, wow, man, this is too much. Like, how many times you met a girl that, she was attractive and was that needy that wanted to get married? It was sort of, I thought, well, just let's go along with it anyways.
John. when you spoke to her and she said, where
she wants to get married on the first date. Wow.
You told her to wear whatever she's comfortable in. When she showed up in a wedding gown, you didn't know what was going on?
What's going? Wow, the first date. That's pretty deep.
Like that night, I just went for a ride, and soon enough, I went. She was very pushy to get to that courthouse to get married, and I always ran back
to get married. Well, if she wanted you to get married on the first date, I would say you got to have sex first. You got to test drive her.
Well, that did happen pretty fast, and
wow,
too. Like
well, you got better luck than me, man. I get it. I spend $400 or $500, $300, and I get a kiss. That's it. Yeah, wow, that's a lot. But getting married, I wouldn't get married on a first date. No, that's a little too quick for me.
Yeah, well, I had to go back and rethink it over. And what happened is I went back to Canada and I got cold feet. I told her, and that I wasn't ready yet. And then I started thinking about it because the first night I got back, we got hit by this major snowstorm, and I was shoveling snow. And I was thinking to myself, but what else do I got to lose? Shovel snow or go back to sunny South Florida and get married to this beautiful Latin woman,
Yeah.
Wow. Has 3 kids from 3 different men,
Shit. That pussy's been beaten up.
But what struck me is that she had an alibi for every guy she went with, and it was a pretty good one, and she was pretty, like, she had she did have a master's degree and all that.
I know as a Latin guy, as a guy of Latin descent, some Latin women can be kind of psycho. So, I mean, they're like some women who can be very good-looking Latin women. But, I mean, I remember I worked at this office, and one of my senior brokers, he was dating this girl from Colombia. She was a skinny girl. She had some nice big boobs. And I remember one time she chased him around the office with scissors and stabbed a hole in one of the chairs in the office. Yeah, and like everybody saw it and was like, "What the fuck happened here?" And everybody saw that the following day that this chair was like all stabbed up, and she was, I guess, trying to stab him with scissors. Crazy, yeah. So are you guys both into sports? Ty, John?
I'm like into basketball. I don't follow it religiously.
Yeah.
But I like the Miami Heat and whatnot.
So what about the Dolphins tonight? Anybody rooting for the Dolphins tonight against Carolina? I'm hoping Dolphins win, but I don't think they are. I think Carolina's going to take it tonight.
You think?
Yeah, I think Carolina will take it tonight.
Yeah, Carolina.
I think Carolina. Miami Heat disappointed me this season. I thought they should have did some trades as far as the Heat go. I mean, Boston traded their whole freaking team away, and now they're winning. Miami Heat kept the whole team.
I don't follow,
and didn't do.
Yeah, I don't follow the NBA till the end of the season.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I looked today. I was surprised to see it's early. I know it's early in the season, but the Knicks are like in second place.
Yeah. Well, you guys, Knicks have Porzingis, and I think Porzingis is a good kid. I mean, he's 23 years old. He's super tall, and I think he's going to be a superstar for a while as long as they have him
in the NBA.
Really? I mean, he's like 7. I think he's like 8 feet tall. I don't know. He's very super tall, But he's a good player.
These guys can dunk with just standing on their toes.
Yeah. But the Heat, I wish the Heat would do a big trade. I mean, I wish they would do some blockbuster trade. I was a bit disappointed they didn't do too much trade, 2 trades.
I heard that there was actual talks of James coming back, LeBron James. I heard something like that, a rumor, but.
That would be good. I think.
Well, he's up. His contract's up this year, right?
Right. I think so with Cleveland. It would be good to see him back. I think you'd see more people start going to the Heat games again. Because I went to a Heat game and I had decent tickets, and decent seats, and my tickets were super cheap the last time I went. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who I guess they're playing. If they're playing like when they were playing Boston, I'm going to see Boston next week. Yeah, I'm going to go to the game next Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
It's all about like which star players they have because that whole star power is they get asses in seats.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when they had the big 3, it was expensive to go to the games. Now the prices are lower. But they need to do some trades. Yeah. to get good player. Well, people want to see excitement. They want to see, you know, the player do the dunks and you know, 3-point shots and all that stuff. You know.
So did you tell Ty that we have a poll in the studio and his girls can come here and dance?
Oh yeah, to Ty, you can bring any of your girls here at the studio. They've got a stripper pole in the studio.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the first thing you're going to ask me, does the pole spin or is it stationary?
Is it spin or stationary? Stationary.
Stationary? They're going to love that.
Yeah.
So I could probably get more girls to come to that than freaking actually come to the strip club with a spinning pole.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, you know, they love the stationary pole. It doesn't move or nothing. You know, it doesn't spin. They like that.
Yeah.
I feel the spinning pole is better, but whatever.
What's so
to do is take one of the mic stands and push it up to the ceiling.
Yeah, take one of those. It's funny. What's funny with the strip clubs, man, is that I go to strip clubs, but I'm an infrequent strip club goer. I'll go like every 3 months. I'll go to like
is that one word
Ultra,
or two?
Scores. What?
Is that one word or two?
What 2 words?
Infrequent. Infrequent.
Not frequently, but you know, there's clubs I regular.
One word. It's not 2 words.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I go, you know, every so often to the clubs, and I notice that the girls change a lot with all the clubs. Like no matter what club it is, you go 3 months later, and then it's like different girls. Like is it a real like high turnover business with the clubs?
Honestly,
you know,
in the past 3 years, we've had a slew of dancers just pop up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually like in Palm Beach County, it's rotational. The girls, you know, they kind of go to all the different clubs. You know, they try to find out that, you know, they're all independent contractors. Independent contractors go to whichever club they want.
Right.
Go to the ones where they get more.
Yeah.
More
so one
money.
day they go here, one day they go to, you know, the Rhino, the other day Monroe's, or, you know, like that. But we've had an influx of girls that come up from Miami and down in like Broward. They've come up, and you know, the girls down there, they're always different. And I mean, like at Scores, we've even had girls that come from Texas, California.
Is Scores Scores the chain, right? Isn't it? Because there's one in New York, right? Are they all owned by the same person? I know big with New York and
what you call it?
Is it a corporation? Is it a corporate?
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah.
So there's like 60 plus clubs of Scores.
Sure, say something, John. What did you want to say?
I was going to let you know that there's a place in Toronto when I was growing up. It was called Fantasia.
Yeah.
And it was voted number one, one of the top strip clubs in North America.
Now we're talking to strip clubs. You know the funniest thing? I was in Montreal in August, and I went to the strip club. I think it was called like the Casbar, I think it was called, or Cassandra or something like that. And I went there and I paid a cover, right? And you know, Ty, like I'm used to here in Florida, I'll go to, you know, Rhino, Cheetah, Scores, and you go in there and you pay a cover, and they don't make you buy a drink right away. You know, like they give you a couple minutes. And I remember in Montreal at this club, I was there and I just got in the door and I paid my cover entrance fee. And I thought there's a rule where they give you some time after you pay a cover.
Right away.
And the guy came, the waitress came and says, you got to buy a drink right away. And I was like, I'm used to Florida. You know, I know the clubs and I know the managers. So, you know, that's how you know you're not at home. So then all of a sudden this big guy, I mean, huge, made me look like a little scrawny little 100-pound wimp. I mean, this guy was like 300-400 pounds, 7 feet tall, gets right up in my face and goes, you got to buy a drink now. And I said to him, I says, I just got in here. I just paid you cover. I says, I'm not buying a fucking drink right now. I says, give me at least a couple minutes. And the guy goes, you got to buy a drink now or else. And I says, you know what? Later. And I just walked out and I gave them the middle finger to them. And then the girls yelled out something to me. And then I walked out of the club. So that was my experience of a Montreal strip club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
here
you know,
it's laid back, you know. Like at Scores, you know, I go to all the clubs. We're all family, even though we're in competition. We're all family. You know, at my club at Scores, we have, you know, managers from all the other clubs. They come and they hang out, you know, and vice versa. You know, I'll go to You know, I'll go to Monroe's, I'll go to Rhino's. You know, on a rare occasion, I'll go to the Double D's.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know about Double D's, right?
We're near Double D's. It's just a little bit further up the road, right up the road from there.
Oh, okay.
We're close.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Good restaurant. Good restaurant.
I'm sure you just went to the restaurant.
The food is awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all about, you know, customer service and being laid back.
Yeah.
And here, we don't pressure you. I mean, we do have that 2-drink minimum. That's with every club.
Yeah.
You know,
but no, they've never really forced me when I got in the door like they did in Montreal. And then the Scores or none of the clubs said as soon as I walked in I had to buy a drink. They gave me a few minutes. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But that shows you when you're not at home, you know, you're used to your home club familiarity. You know what, John? Go on. You were going to say something?
I didn't really finish about Fantasia in Toronto, but Harry, the guy that owns Hustler magazine, he voted it like #1 up there with the chicken ranch because there was no cover charge going into this place, but your neck got so sore after getting into the evening that there was hundreds of girls, different ones and varieties, but it was a legal brothel. You can go get a blow job or you can get anything you want in this place. It was like what every guy wants when he does go to a strip club. You can look at the candy, but can you really have it? And that Fantasia was all about everything that, you know, went down. You had to room out everything inside the club to go get, you know, hanky-panky, whatever you want.
Fantasia, though, wasn't in Montreal, right? It was probably, in Ontario? I should have went to that part of Canada when I went. Toronto, I should have went to Toronto.
It was incredible. Like, every girl in there was a hooker, and she mixed a little bit, and then she was more or less getting set. You have rooms off to the side, like 50 rooms, and they're all set up and watched and everything, and you can take the girl. And it was an incredible experience. I've never seen anything like that here in Florida yet.
But John, did you ever go to Scores? Scores is a pretty good club. I like Scores. I think it's one of the best clubs here in Palm Beach County.
I've never been to Scores, but I want to go. I went to Cheetah down there in the afternoon. It was just starting to get cooking, you know, like in the middle of the afternoon. It doesn't really get going. They start warming up. Come back around 7, you know what I mean? To get it when it's cold.
Ty, I got the funny story too. You know, me and you met years ago when I met Taya Parker, who was on that Rock of Love show. You took pictures, remember? And you took pictures, and the pictures said you put on the bottom logo. There was a little logo that said Monroe's on it. Okay. And on that day when I went to the club, I was wearing I had Nike, you know, those Nike check like sweatpants. I was wearing those that day when I met Taya Parker. And the funny thing was, and forever since then, I've always been mad at Monroe's for this. I went back to Monroe's, and like months later, after that time when I met Taya Parker, and the guys at the door were harassing me, saying, "You can't." I pull up. I have a Mercedes Benz. I pull up to the club, and they were like, "You can't go in there with those pants." And I'm like, here's a picture of me at your club with the fucking Monroe logo at the bottom that said, and I'm wearing these exact same Nike sweatpants, and they told me that they wouldn't let me in the club for wearing pants that I had on multiple times that I've been at the club. Do you understand that? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's kind of crazy to me, right? You know, I mean, here and the thing of it is, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, so my friends saw the picture, you know, that you took of me with the Monroe logo on it. So I gave them promotion, basically free promotion for the club, with having my picture with their club logo, with club name on it, on social media. And meanwhile, they were pissed off. You know, they weren't letting me in the club because I had on fucking sweatpants, and I was there to spend money. I was there to spend at least $200, and they wouldn't let me in the club. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I was telling him that I was wearing sweatpants. I went into Monroe's when I met Taya Parker, and Ty, who's on the phone, he took a picture of me at the club, and he put the club Monroe's logo, and I put it on social media. So I basically promoted the club for free. And I went to the club months after that and was wearing those exact same Nike sweatpants with a check on it. And the bouncers at the door, the big bouncers at the door said they wouldn't let me in. I said, how the hell is that? How the hell is that? You let me in that time? And then another time you didn't let me in? And then the guys was trying to justify it, saying, well, you know, maybe because that time we had less customers in the door, so we let it slide and let you come in that time versus another time. So it's like, yeah. But I ended up giving another club my business. I think it was Scores. Did
you have your when you went in? When you had your sweatpants the second time? Did you have your camera with you?
What do you mean camera? No, I didn't have a camera with me.
Huh?
I didn't have a camera with me.
No.
Just your phone.
So they give. I saw this one guy. He goes in.
Mm-hmm.
He had sweatpants, and he said that he was a photographer for what's the thing called? There's a website down here that does like clubs. Night Move.
That's probably Lenny. I know Lenny. He does Excitement. Excitement. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Lenny. It was someone else.
Lenny's super cool. I love Lenny. Lenny's a good guy.
Yeah, I love Lenny too. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But they gave him a hard time
Richard
about
Ken, I think.
Like, I'm here to work.
Really? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they wouldn't let a promoter come. That's crazy. Yeah. Sometimes you never know. I don't know. It's crazy. Well, I think the clubs, I guess, if they have a lot of customers or they don't, I guess they act differently, the bouncers and stuff.
I was never big.
They want business in,
Yeah.
So whatever little business they can get, they'll push in, and if they have too many,
yeah,
I haven't seen that too much, but I know it does happen.
Yeah.
I was never big. I used to travel a lot.
Mm.
It was like, I'm going to go get worked up and go back to the hotel. I'm just not into it.
Mm.
But one time I was in Providence, Rhode Island.
Mm.
My brother and a bunch of salesmen I knew from another company were in South Attleboro, and towns are next to each other.
Yeah, just near where my cousin's at.
They call me and go, listen, we're going to the Foxy Lady tonight. Why don't you come join us? Yeah, okay. So I drive, find out where it is. I drive there, and I park the car. And as I'm parking the car, the CFO, who I knew, of this, like $200 million company, right, gets out, hey, how are you? Good. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And family, blah, blah, blah. I said, so you ever been here? He goes, I don't know if I've ever been to this place before. And as we're walking in, the bouncer, 7'2",
right.
bouncer,
hello, Mr. So-and-so.
Puts his arm around the guy, and he goes, we're not going to have to kick you out of here again, are we?
Probably goes in there and gets shit-faced drunk all the time.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yeah. I mean, wow. Okay.
Time flies.
So, yeah. So,
actually, it's more like 11.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So also two Scores. You guys serve food there, don't you too?
Oh yeah. We have awesome food there. I mean, we got this one cook chili. He's always in there, just busting his ass. And we have some of the best steak. I mean, I've had people from other clubs come and try the steak that we have, the ribeye.
Better than Rachel's?
Huh?
Better than Rachel's?
Honestly, I really like the one at Rachel's. Here's something about me. I never lie. So, I'm honest. The one at Rachel's is really good, But,
Rachel's is good food.
I mean, we got I think we got a better pricing, on it. So it's good.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Yeah, but speaking of strip clubs too, it's funny. I went to Manhattan about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was a tourist, in New York, the big city. And I figured, I might as well. It was the day before I was going to Boston. I was like, I'm going to, that's Boston's my home city. And I was like, I'll go to the strip club. And I didn't even know the name of it. And I was funny. I went to the guy at the door, and the door person, and because we're talking about strip clubs and door people. And the guy goes to me, he goes, $40. And I said to him,
Really?
I says, I'm from Florida. I says, I'm used to paying 20. And he goes, okay, $20. And I gave him the $20 and he let me in. Yeah. So it's funny though, I guess in New York, they can fluctuate the price on cover charge at the club. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
I mean, there's some clubs down here that they charge you $20 to get in.
Yeah.
But most of them
change them.
Well, after a certain time, clubs can up the price to like $20, but usually it's like $10 to get in.
Yeah.
Before a certain amount of time. And during the day it's usually like $1 or $5 or something like that. It can fluctuate depending on the club.
Yeah. Yeah, I like scores. Do you ever get you guys ever get any big celebrities going in there? Because I mean, you got like Howard Stern mentions it up in New York, the club. Do you guys ever get any celebrities going into scores?
Well, I'm waiting to get Howard Stern in the club because
that'd be awesome.
Now, yeah, I'm waiting for him. I may or may not have pissed him off. I cannot confirm nor deny any accusation.
Yeah,
because I started using the. When I had my radio show, I was the Howard Stern of Palm Beach because of all the stuff that I would do on the radio.
Yeah.
So that might have pissed him off a little bit. But Billy Joel's been in our club.
Oh, really? Billy Joel?
So, yeah. He lives over in, I believe he's in Manalapan.
Yeah, I think, I think somebody said they saw him at that, what is it, Darpsters, that vegan restaurant or something like that? Somebody told me he used to hang out and eat there. Yeah. So that's close to Scores, where Scores is near.
It's really him. There's a saxophone player that lives in Boynton. That's his double.
Yeah, there is a saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, it was Billy Joel, the real Billy Joel. We've had a couple of UFC fighters come in before.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like they weren't like huge names, but they were in the UFC. Like they showed up on pay-per-views. We've had a couple of them.
Well, you guys might get some ball players now. Now that we got the local ball teams here.
The Birdman.
Yeah. The rapper, the Birdman. Yeah.
No, not that. No, the basketball player.
Oh, okay. Anderson. Yeah, Anderson. Chris Anderson.
He actually gets tattooed by one of our promotion guys. He has this shop called Stroke of Genius, and that's where Birdman, the basketball player, he gets his tattoos done at. And he's actually been in the club before.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. I saw some news on him on Birdman where they were showing how he was catfished by some girl online, or some girl online was catfished by him. Yeah, yeah, or somebody that was posing as him, that she thought it was him, and there was like some big media story. It was in the media that they had and stuff.
I did with some NFL players. What the hell's the name of the club? There's a few of them around. This was down in Broward County.
Cheetah?
No, not Cheetah.
Diamonds?
No, not Platinum.
Booby Trap?
Huh?
Booby Trap?
No, I'll think of the name. Anyway, so we're broadcasting, and they set us up like on the bar side, right? So, got to admit, dances weren't that hot, but there was a blonde Russian girl smoking, and she would come in, and she's wearing like the little G-string and little thing just covering her nipples. Oh, blah blah blah. Can I go on air? Later. And then she comes back again, and now she's like not wearing anything, but her arms are like folded across her breast, and she says, "I should go on, on air." And she opens her arms up, and she goes, "I can tell and get everybody to come down here," right? Exposing her breast. Now it was radio, no video,
right?
And I said, "You know what? Let me finish up with these NFL guys, and then." There's time left. You can go on air. I said, but there's no money involved here. It's just going on air. Never saw her again.
Well, that's how the stripper girls, strippers and porn stars, they're kind of a little bit, they're out to hustle. They're out for money. A lot of times. Not all the time. A lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of the dancers, they want to get reimbursed. A lot of them, they don't realize that, exposure is actually a good thing for them because it shows guys, hey, oh my God, this girl's here. I want to go see her.
Right.
For example, like, my Facebook profile picture, I have 3 hot girls completely naked all over me.
Yeah.
And then I get, I run the Snapchat on Scores. And, I say, hey, look, and I'll take a picture of the girl. And, hey, this girl's here right now. Come see her.
I know. Yeah, that's true. That one blonde in the picture with you I thought was pretty hot.
Hey, is this girl here? Is this girl here?
Yeah.
They want to see her.
Yeah.
It's good for them.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, but, you have a lot of dancers who are, undercover. They don't want the family to know.
Yeah, that's the same like with the porn stars too. Same thing with a lot of. I found out that happened when I did a production, produced some short films with porn stars. No, it wasn't an important movie, but I used porn stars to have them act in these short films that I put on. They're on YouTube called Detective Story. And you know the funny thing of it was, and I think it probably happens with Detective, not Detective, Detective Story. And the funny thing was to me, and it probably happens with dancers too, is that these girls were porn stars, having sex on camera, and 7 years later, they're moms with families, married. One of them's married to a guy who's a millionaire. So it's kind of like funny how they went from being very free to now living a very kind of boring life, I guess. Kind of crazy how that happens.
Honestly, it's something that I actually tell the girls, like, this is a stepping stone. You're not meant to do this forever. If you're going to do this for 20 years, just fucking shoot yourself.
Right.
Because there's no reason in Palm Beach County why a dancer who knows how to hustle, who knows how to tease, can't make six figures.
Yeah. And with that, you can invest in real estate and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, save your money, because here's the thing. The girls, they either have bad habits, they don't, or they're fucking retarded, they don't know how to manage their money, or they have that boyfriend / pimp / whatever the fuck
He's
they
like
call
a
him
bum
nowadays.
and just does nothing. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But if the girls, and think about it, if the girls actually did that, every 2 years we would have brand new girls. You would never have an ugly girl.
That's true. That's true.
You always have a young girl. You wouldn't have like the 50-year-old girl. That's the thing I ever see one of those.
Yeah. That's funny, yeah.
It's like the little kid that they wouldn't let into the strip joint, and the kid kept saying, but I got to get in. My grandmother's dancing there.
I never heard that joke. My grandmother's dancing there. That's funny.
Was a family of, there was a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter in Palm Beach County that all danced.
No.
Really? Wow.
But it was just so funny to see that.
Oh, my God. I know. I couldn't imagine that. That's funny.
Wow.
Well, gentlemen, I just want to say, is John still on too? John?
Oh, my God. They killed John.
I guess John's gone. Well, anyway, I wanted to tell you guys both thank you for coming on the air. John Dunn, Ty Shades, and you guys are more than welcome on any other time to come on and comment on any news we have. And thanks for sharing your story. And everybody, all of our listeners who are out there, go out. Check out Ty, great, super good guy, good photographer. He's over at Scores.
They can find you there any night?
Yeah, pretty much. That is my social life. I'll be at Scores, and if they want to hang out, my number's all over the internet. They can easily reach me.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for being on the show, guys.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, anytime. Take care.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye. See you next week.
See you. To all of our listeners, see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to The Man Show. I'm your host, Mike Guzman, signing off. Have a great week.
A credit card that's got